First of all, have confidence that you are ready to do what you're going to do. We studied this model, the Ikigai model. It's a Japanese model that binds your passion and your life and then your skills, and then it forms one thing of how you can maybe make a living from it. It makes me sad when I think about how we humans, we are not that confident in ourselves. We are not that loving to ourselves. You look at this human, and you tell her, you are not capable. We won't make it. Why would you do that to her?
Welcome to Global Student Voices, the show that connects students, educators, and schools around the world through real stories and fresh perspectives. I'm your host, Scott Martin. Now let's dive in. Welcome to the show. I'm here with Cynthia, and I'm so excited for you guys listening in to get to meet her. I got to meet her earlier this year and was struck by her joy. And as I've been personally reflecting on the idea of joy and what that means in terms of how we flourish as people, I wanted to be able to get to know Cynthia a little bit more and find out if I can figure out where this joy comes from and share that with people listening. So welcome to the show. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you so much, Martin. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy to be here. Let's begin.
Yes, it's so great. Earlier this year, we were able to, my wife and I were able to visit ALU, Africa Leadership University in Kigali, and we met you there. Tell us a little bit about ALU and your connection there, and then we'll get into the reason I called.
Okay. So yes, it's true. We met at ALU, the African Leadership University, and the school is all about trying to connect a student with their mission here on Earth. The school is all about reminding you that you are here for a purpose. Let's forget religion, let's forget other things, but as a human being on this planet, you have a call. And you don't have to look beyond. You don't have to go to Mars to know it. You can start here. That's in your country. You have a will. Where there's a will, there's a way. You can do it. So I go to ALU too. I'm in my first year. And my connection there is just I'm a student. And it's a school of open opportunities. They're always trying to push us to better world. They're trying to open doors for us. And me, myself, I'm like, this is open. I'm gonna miss it. I'm not missing this. I'm always trying to also open my doors to try out new things. I'm curious by nature. So that's how we ended up meeting actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. We connected, I think, on LinkedIn. In fact, you were one of the first connections, maybe my first connection in Kigali. And I was just struck, even from our first introduction, just even your profile on LinkedIn, and then meeting you in person. It was very clear that you were joyful and not happy. Maybe you're happy too, but there was something deeper, something more profound, something kind of philosophical about your joy. And I made a mental note, even just as we first talked, as we're walking across campus and kind of getting a tour. I thought, not only is this person experiencing joy, but they're joyful, like it's radiating out from them. And whether it's in it's just in your presence and your smile and the way you interact with people around you. Do you see yourself as a joyful person?
That's a tricky question because I come a long way actually. First, touching on the point of LinkedIn, I remember when I first opened my LinkedIn account, it was from a workshop at the LU, and they're trying to tell us it should be professional. It's how you show your professional life to others. And I tried to talk to other students who already have LinkedIn, and I was like, this is not you there. The people I see on LinkedIn are totally different from the people I know in person.
Mm.
I've been having a battle in my childhood of trying to be this one person at this time, being this one person at another time. I totally understand that there are times when emotions have a place they should be, but then there are no times where we should not neglect being joyful and being this flower that that blossoms in other people's lives, whether they're in sad times, whether they're in happy times. I just feel that once I get to really understand who I am and that it's a gift that I really have been given to be able to just radiate this tiny, 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 tiny sun ray in other people's lives. I try to cherish it. I try to cherish it so much that when I get complimented, I'm like, God, we're doing something good. This is good.
You definitely are a flower in people's lives. I can say that honestly because you certainly were that for me. I think just in meeting you, there's something that radiates from you that is very special. I judge places based on their fruit, right? And flowers are kind of a fruit. Uh,
Yeah.
when I went to ALU, I didn't know much about it. I knew the philosophy. I'd
Mm,
seen the website, I understood the promotional materials, but I had not met students. And for me, I judge institutions by their students. And
yeah.
so when I met uh, you guys at ALU, I was immediately struck by um, not only the level of professionalism, which is very evident, but also a level of authenticity. And there just seems to be more joy than normal. There's something I can say students at ALU are flourishing. Now, maybe not
Mhm.
all students. Nothing is perfect, and there's no perfect institution. But the students I met certainly are flourishing. They understand their mission. They are able to articulate their mission very clearly, which I think is really beautiful. And there's something about like literally every student I met, whether I'm even at the session I was at, but I also met students in town. We were at a conference and we met students that were from ALU that were there. And because they were from ALU, I
Mm.
was able to have a conversation to say, hey, I would just visit your campus. And in fact, most of them already had heard about me. Like they recognized me from the signs and from the promotional things. And so, we'd be walking in town and have students stop us and say hello and introduce themselves. And to me, that's very, very impressive. And I've met students from hundreds of campuses, and there's definitely a level of flourishing at ALU that's beyond most. I would say I've described it to outside people as maybe top 10 that I've encountered in the world, top 50, because of the level of flourishing the students. If you're enjoying Global Student Voices, take a moment to like, share, or even leave a comment. Your support helps us reach more students and schools around the world. Can you, from your experience, and I know your first year, but from your experience, is that true to you as well? Are you seeing that as well? And maybe why do you think that is?
Well, it's true. Like you said, it's not 100% perfect. But then when thinking about this question, quote just came in my mind that I hope I really quote it well. I don't remember the one who said this, but it's about that there are two important dates in our life. One is the day that we are born, and the other is the day that we know why we are born.
Mm,
Being in an environment that really reminds you that, hey, you are not just here, going around, not doing anything. Being an environment that truly pushes you to know yourself, that doesn't limit you, that doesn't condemn you for being who you are, but they just try to remind you that you like to paint. Guess what? You can use painting to bring Africa to peace, or you can use art in a way that is really contributing to the society. Being an environment that's really, and it's really evident, as you said, it will be very evident if you came to that environment and you saw a negative thing. You'll be like, okay, now I understand why this was like this. Or you had news, for example, that Kigali is maybe cleanest and you came, you find it not clean, you'll be like, something is not going on. So I really think that it's true from the environment, from the people in it, and then from the students themselves who are like, wow, we're given this opportunity. Now let's cherish it. Now let's turn it into something bigger. These people have confidence in us. Let's not let them down. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
really good. So there's a sense of one belonging. You guys have found you feel seen and you feel welcome. You
Mhm.
feel like you are immediately a part of the place.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we've seen that as being really important everywhere for folks to be seen and feel like they're a part. You're also a part of something much bigger. That you're part of the future of Africa, which is a big deal. And you guys feel like you're an important part of that. Is that true?
Very true. Very true. I just wanted to give you a life experience of my own.
Perfect.
When I compare my childhood, okay, my high school studies, and seeing myself how I see education, I was really not a fan of education in my A levels and my O levels. I was like, why are you forcing me? I really don't see myself in this. But then when I get to LU, I'm like, I'll be the minister of education one time. I love education so much. And it's really so true that they have this model of trying to show you that, yes, we accept you. We'll give everything to show you that you belong here. But then cherish that responsibility, that Pan Africanism. And we are not being anti other continents. We are like, it's okay to do big things, but come on, our people still need that help. If you have seen that you have extended all of that and you have done all of that for them, you can go and do the work to others. It's okay, but remember, you gotta do something, do hard things. Yeah, we call it to do hard things. That's
Yeah.
the quota school and everything.
Yeah, and you've really embraced that. I think as students, embrace the idea of doing hard things. It's most students not only have either quoted that line or have demonstrated it in the things they're doing. So tell me a little bit, Cynthia. Tell me a little bit about what you're discovering about your mission and your purpose.
That's a great question. I come from a place of being like, so there are plenty choices to choose. Why can't I do all of them? And then I started to understand that it's okay to want to do all of them, but it's not that twice enough because you find that at times some will lack the attention they need. Some are scarcity, some are priority. So you have to dig in deeper and start to choose one. So I ended up going to a choosing point of choosing one. I'm so interested in food security and food waste. I just started to ask myself, we have people in newspapers that are hungry. And then there is this percentage of food going to waste, either in production, restaurants, or even harvesting. And I'm like, why is this happening? Why do we still have these people? And it's something that we can really correct. It's something that we can start in policy making, in making new laws, in sensitizing the society. So deep down, I know that I'm really interested in because I love food, and I wish that everyone could be able to have something on their plate, and we could be really
Mhm.
mindful of the action we do towards harvesting, towards using food and everything. So yeah, so far I'm planning to start a movement. Yay! To start a movement in my society about food waste. I started to understand that the problem is more in food waste, recycling, and then the food waste management system in Rwanda is still at low, very low, that in our homes, we never separate the trash. But they're all in one big park. And I'm like, this is really hard on the waste management uh, services which are coming to fix this thing, and it's hard even on the country management. And I'm like, what if I collected my friends, like 10 of us, and then we started in my village, we started to give out bags which will separate the trash to the homes, and like 10 homes have started to use that. Maybe that homes will know that. And maybe if the if something that is really like, we can grow into other homes, and maybe we'll start to correct the problem of handling waste management. After handling waste management, we start to show them, you're really having this much waste which should not be here. How about you start doing this? So once you see me in the newspaper, remember. I'm still perishing though. I'm still perishing it. I have that idea in my mind. The big idea, the big vision is about let's stop having food waste. Let's do something else, not in the developing countries. I don't understand how we have that kind of issue. When we still have hungry people, people are dying from malnutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And what a great example. And this is what I've seen from so many students, that you guys have really identified something very real, very practical, and have already begun starting to take steps to address it. And I just think what a wonderful model. Like, that's literally something that every human being can do, right? You guys will
Yeah.
do it at a higher level because you're getting wonderful training and have, you have your colleagues, your fellow students that are also achieving very high. So you guys will achieve it at a higher level. But even I can sort my own trash, right? That's something doable. And I can start to say, hey, if I'm collecting all of my food waste in one place, I become aware of how much food I'm, and I can start to think more strategically about how I use food. Like, even if I'm just selfish, right? You have a very good intention, but even if for people who are just selfish, don't waste your own money. If
Yeah.
you're throwing away your own money, whatever your motivation is, being able to, yeah, I just think that's so beautiful, and it really speaks to once you may, Cynthia, you may change your purpose, right? Your mission may change
Mhm.
as things evolve. This mission you may build this beautiful organization that transforms your space and begins transforming beyond. And then you may become interested in another mission and go on and do another great thing. And that's not a bad thing either. So it's very
Yeah.
exciting. We are going to see, um, I believe we are going to see you in the papers, and we are going to get to celebrate. Hey, I know this one. She was on my podcast first. I was the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah. Manifestation to that.
That's right. We're gonna have to talk again because I'm running out of time. But um, tell me a little bit just before we go. People who are
Hmm.
listening in who want to find that sense of purpose, to understand, like you said, that next big date, the date you figure out why you were born. Is there like a first step or advice or something you've heard maybe at the school, something that got you on track thinking about your mission that you could leave with others or that teachers could share with their students?
That's a good thing. That's a good question. I really hope that I'm not a great expert in this, but I will try to answer it in ways that I think. First of all, have confidence that you are ready to do what you're going to do. Second of all, we studied this model, the Ikigai model. It's a Japanese model that binds your passion and your life and then your skills, and then it forms one thing of how you can maybe make a living from it. Because most of people are scared. They're like, what if I love cooking? What if it doesn't? Life is this economy. What if cooking is not a big thing for me? And I want to have this luxurious life, and cooking will make me go there. Who lied to you? Have you seen the Michelin cooks and everything? Those people who are really well. How will I get there? That's why I started to say, have confidence in a human being that you are. Even if you find out that you really like to sing, you'll be like, how will I become the next Beyonce? What am I gonna do? Well, they started like you. Have a confidence in the human. I really, it makes me sad when I think about how we humans, we are not that confident in ourselves. We are not that loving to ourselves. You look at this human, and you tell her you are not capable. We won't make it. Why would you do that to her? It's so hard. It's so hard when you come from maybe an emotionally hard situation. Maybe you haven't even had the opportunity to really understand yourself and love yourself. But if that's the case, advices, seek seek people who are really good in that way, and then they can help you somehow somewhere. I really hope that I can explain this better, but it's all about that passion that you have, skills that you have. There's a way that you can make a living out of it and be really impactful as a human being. Because think about it. We humans, we are not only satisfied by making money. You also
Mhm.
find that some percentage of us, are mostly the bigger percentage, are people who are satisfied when they really make something that they have been called to. And don't rush. You'll be like, time is ticking. I have to get the money before I have to be a millionaire before I turn 40. Honey, no, don't rush. Don't rush your call. Don't rush yourself. It all starts from a calling of loving yourself, accepting yourself, and having confidence in who you are created to be. I really hope that everyone could embody that and love it.
Well, I definitely am very happy to be part of sharing that call. I think that's you've nailed it, whether it's perfectly stated or not. You have captured the essence, and I think that's really beautiful. So we'll leave people with that. Know, if you're listening in, know that you are created for something really special and that you are going to accomplish it, and keep telling yourself that even if no one else does. Um, at least be that positive voice, and you can see from Cynthia that when you capture that, the product is joyful, and that's something we all can aspire to. So with that, thank you, Cynthia. We will definitely talk again, because I think we have a lot to learn about joy from you, and we certainly want to be a part of your story. So thank you so much for being on Global Student Voices.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for visiting ALU. Say hi to Angie for me and the team. But you're doing great things out there, and woo! Shout out to you guys.
Thank you, Cynthia. Through My Career and College Coach, which helps students find the best fit universities, international school consulting, guiding schools through excellence and global engagement. And of course, my books and resources for families navigating international education. If you're a school leader, counselor, or parent looking to better support your students, we'd love to work with you.